We are ready to get started with our weight training class for today. For today's class, you do need a couple of lighter weights, or you can do some of our exercises empty hand if you choose. You're also probably going to want some medium weights for some of our more lower body oriented exercises. And a chair is always an option for this class. I'll give you seated and standing variations for everything. Now, if you haven't joined us before, go ahead and hit like and subscribe on this video. Make sure you ring the bell so you get notified whenever a new video pops up. And we'll go ahead and get started. All right, we're going to do our warm up, starting with some nice gentle arm swings, moving through the torso, the back body, just kind of loosening things up, checking in. If everything's feeling good, you can go ahead and lift your heel, turn a little further, let your arms fly out a little more, bring a little energy and warmth into your body. We're going to do 2 more to each side. And then bring everything back into center and move into some nice big arm circles. Beautiful, go the other way. And then throw your arms in and out across your chest, alternating one on top and then the other. Perfect. From there, we're going to move down into our elbows. So nice big circles with your elbows. And then go the other way. And then down to your wrists. And go the other way. And lastly, for our upper body, squeeze those fingers in and out. Make sure your hands are nice and awake. Perfect. All right, from here, moving into lower body. If you're doing a seated warm up, you're just going to swing your knees side to side, moving through your hips a little bit. If you're doing standing, you're going to do some nice big hip circles in one direction. And go the other way. All right, moving on to our knees. If you're seated, you're going to just lift your feet up and swing your feet back and forth, bringing movement through your knees, loosening everything up. If you're standing, start with popping forward and back, and then if it feels okay, add some circles in one direction. And go the other way. And then last but not least, our ankles. So pick one foot up, move that foot in one direction, and then go the other way. And then you're going to put that foot down and switch sides. Same thing, nice circles in one direction. And then go the other way. All right, so our first exercise is going to be good mornings. Now, if you have any trouble with your shoulders, with your elbows, or if you just haven't done this before, start empty hand. So for a good morning, it's similar to a deadlift, but instead of keeping everything parallel facing the ground, as you bend, soft knees, flat back, keep your chest up and forward. And for this one, we're going to do straight arm good morning. So we're going to come up and out and then stand all the way up, flex back a little bit, and then up and out again. If you feel comfortable with this exercise and you want to go ahead and add some light weights in, go for it. We've got 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Make sure you add that little flex back. That's going to help keep the chest muscles engaged, as well as the lower body and back. Nice and steady. Just bringing in a little movement. We did our warm up, but we gotta get a little more blood pumping before we go to anything too difficult. You're over halfway there. Nice and gentle, keeping a soft bend in the knees. Let your back body do the work here. And time. Beautiful. All right, up next, we're gonna go into a side leg lift with an upward row. So you're gonna need one weight for this. We're gonna start with the weight in the left hand. You're gonna do your side leg lift and then your upward row, just like that. All right, we've got 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. If you're doing the seated version of this one, you're gonna focus on the upward row here and just do a tap out to the side. Works the legs similarly, not quite as much through the hip, but it's a great alternative if you're having issues with balance or knee issues, any of those things. Beautiful. And you're gonna bring that side leg lift up as high as is comfortable for you. Everybody's hip structure is a little different. So find the height that feels like you're working through that side, but with no pain, no pinching, definitely no stabbing. Make sure that you're honoring the shape of your body and being careful. And time. Set that weight down, give everything a little shake, and then we're gonna go to the other side. So weight in the right hand this time, left leg doing the leg lift, 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Beautiful. Nice and easy. Make sure you're breathing comfortably and smoothly. You want to feel a lot of work, not just through your side, but in your back and shoulder with this as well. If this single arm upward row is super easy, it might be time to go with heavier weights. But if it's super challenging, you can even do this one empty hand as well, and just work through the range of motion in the shoulder. Perfect, almost there. Time. All right, from here, we are moving into halos. Now, halos can be a little challenging to get the form correct. So for your halo, you're gonna take a single weight, starting in the center of your chest. Bring it up and around, coming down behind your head, and then around the other side. We're only going one direction, and at the bottom, we're gonna add a little curl. So halo and curl. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Oop, hold on. Timer malfunction. Okay, here we go. The seated version is exactly the same, just seated right on the edge of your chair. Staying nice and upright, reaching up through the crown of your head, and keeping your tummy in tight. You got it. And you want to try to keep your elbows in tight, but it's a little tricky with the halo because of the circle. So if they flare out a little, that's okay. Just do your best to keep them close to your head. Still squeezing the tummy in nice and tight. You got this, almost there. And time. All right, now up next, we're going to go the other way with those halos, but instead of a curl, we're going to do a press out. So it's going to start in the same place. You're going to do your halo the other direction, and then when you get back to center, just reaching out and then right back in. All right, we've got 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Keep a soft bend in your elbows on that press out. You want to make sure you're not overextending, locking out the joint. Beautiful, looking good. I can really feel the work in those halos through my upper arms and back body. And then adding in squeeze in that tummy to keep the core engaged. It's a really great exercise. Beautiful, looking good. Time. All right, go ahead and set that weight down. Shake everything out for just a minute. And then for our last one, we're going to need 2 weights. We're going to do a side bend plus an overhead press. So for this one, you're going to reach up and over for the side bend and then switch sides and go the other way. Nice and easy. Again, keeping a bend in the elbow. You don't want to lock it out. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Beautiful. Good control. Make sure that you're going up and down at about the same speed. You don't want to let gravity do the work for you. Make your muscles work. Check in with your breathing here. Are you still able to take smooth, even breaths? If so, great, keep it up. If not, maybe go down a little in weight or slow it down a bit. Almost there. Time. Excellent. All right. First round is done. Go ahead and grab some water, and then we'll come back for round 2. All right, bring it back in. We are back to those straight arm good mornings. Again, if you had any clicking, any pinching, anything in your shoulder, any difficulty in your elbows, stick with empty hands. Otherwise, if everything felt good, try adding some light weights for this round. As always, if anything needs adjustment, between rounds is a great time to do it. So think about the exercises that we just did. Do you want to go up in weight, down in weight, do it empty hand? Make it work for you. All right, 1 minute on the clock. Soft bend in the knees. Here we go. Keeping the chest up, the head up, looking forward. Having that nice little flex back so that you're engaging those chest muscles as well. Keep it up. You got this. Almost there. 10 seconds to go. Time. Beautiful. All right, up next, we have that upward row with the side leg lift. So grab your weight. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Try to do that side leg lift with good control too. Sometimes we get a little off balance. That's okay. Just put it back down and start over. But if you can do it nice and slow, flexing at the top, you get a little extra work through the side of the leg there. Amazing. You guys look fantastic. Almost there. Time. All right, set that weight down, shake out that arm a little, and then we got to go to the other side. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Perfect. Almost there. Well, over halfway anyway. You guys got this. Perfect. Check in with your breathing. Check in with your body. Make sure there's no pain. It's okay to feel a little burn from working, but you don't want any actual pain. Beautiful. Time. Set that down. And then from here, we're going to move back into those halos. So go ahead, grab your weight. The first one goes to the left, and then a curl. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Squeeze the belly in. Keep the body engaged. You want to make sure your torso is not bopping around too much. If you go to raise it over your head and you find your back is arching a lot, then your weight's probably a little too heavy. You should be able to keep your head mostly still while you're doing this exercise. It's going to move a little as your arms move around, but it shouldn't be bopping around too much. There you go. You got it. Down and around, making a circle coming down towards your neck. Beautiful. Time. All right, set that weight down. Give everything a quick shake. And then we're going to go the other direction with that press out. So this one goes to the right and then press out from center. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Still keeping the belly tight. Still focusing on that soft bend to protect the elbows. Nice, looking good. Slow and steady. The slower you go, the more your muscle works and the longer it works. So you can even do these exercises in slow motion if you really want to up the challenge. Time. Set that weight down, give everything a little shake. And then last one for this set, we're back to the side bend with the alternating press. So grab both weights, 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Up and over. And of course, if you're doing this one in the chair, same thing. Sitting at the edge of your chair, up and over with a little side bend. You got it. You want that arm to come up a little straight, curling over, but you're not hooking it over your arm, or over your head rather. You're pressing up with the side bend. Beautiful, now you got it. Almost there. Time. Excellent job. Go ahead, set those weights down, shake everything out, and then go grab some water. We have one set left to go. All right, bring it back in. We are back to those good mornings. Make sure your area is clear before you start. And I didn't show the seated version of the good mornings, but just for anybody who's doing the seated version, if you've done it with me before, you know, you just scoot to the edge of your chair and do the same motions, focusing on keeping the head up. All right, we've got 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. You got it. Keep going. Last set. You can do it. Halfway there. You got this. 15 more seconds. Time. Amazing. All right. Up next, we have the upright row with the side leg lift. Starting with the weight in your left hand. 1 minute on the clock. Let's do it. Working on that balance. Of course, the seated version is the tap out. Keeping those leg muscles engaged. Keeping the foot flexed. Seated or standing, keep the foot flexed. Beautiful, you got this. Almost there. 5 seconds to go. Time. Shake that arm out. Switch sides. We've got 1 minute on this side. Here we go. Perfect. You guys look amazing. Remember, good control up and down, and just pulling that weight up towards your armpit. Keeping that tummy still squeezed in nice and tight, really for all our exercises. Keep that core engaged, makes everything better. Almost there. Time. Beautiful. Shake everything out. And then get ready for your halos. Remember, first one going to the left with the curl. If you're doing the seated version, something I didn't add is you probably want to bring your legs out as wide as you can to make room for that curl. 1 minute on the clock. Here we go. Beautiful. If you feel like you want a little more lower body challenge today, go ahead and drop into a squat while you're doing these halos. It's going to add a lot of extra challenge for you. It's a little different feel, keeping your tummy squeezed in tight, keeping your torso locked in when you're in a squat. You're over halfway there. Beautiful. Nice and low behind your head, down towards your neck. Getting a little tricep work in there with the halo. Time. Set that weight down for a second. Give everything a little shake. And then we got to go the other way. Well, same thing. You can drop into a squat if you want to add that lower body challenge, or to mix it up, do it with a mini lunge, and I'll tell you at the halfway mark to switch sides. 1 minute. Here we go. So going the other way, and then the press out. Beautiful. 15 seconds on this side already. You got this. If you're doing that mini lunge, go ahead and switch now. Almost there. 20 seconds to go. Nice. There you go. Looking good on those halos. And time. All right, shake it out. And then grab both your weights for our side bend and press. 1 minute on the clock. Let's do it. Beautiful. Keep those knees soft. Keep your tailbone tucked under. Keep your belly tight. Getting a really good oblique workout with this one. Looking good. We're almost done. And time. Excellent. Set those weights to the side. Give everything a little shake. Grab some water. All we have left is our final stretch. All right, bring it back in. For our final stretch, bring your feet about hip width apart. Take a nice deep breath, bring those arms up overhead. And then fold forward. Let everything hang loose for just a second. And then with a nice big bend in your knees, roll all the way up. Shrug your shoulders up, and then roll them down and back. Roll them up again, and down and back. And then one more time. Beautiful. From here, nice big breath. Bring those arms up overhead again. Fold forward, let everything go. And then again with a nice big generous bend in the knees. Roll all the way up. This time, we're going to bring one arm across our chest, hug it in. And then if it feels good for your neck, look out over that hand that's extended and just do a little nod up and down. Nice and gentle, small movements. Beautiful. And then come back to center and release. Go to the other side. Hugging that elbow or that arm in nice and tight. If it feels good, look out across your hand and add those little small nods. Beautiful. And relax. One more time, bringing everything up overhead. Deep breath in. Let it all hang. And then generous bend in your knees. You're going to come up to a nice flat back and take your left hand, reach it all the way around to the outside of your right leg. So you're adding just a little twist, a little stretch through the side body. Pause here for just a second. And then release and go to the other side. Right hand comes around and grabs left leg. Mid thigh is a good spot, but whatever works for you. If knee is more comfortable, go a little lower, that's fine. And then release. Roll it all the way up. And then from here, if you're seated, you're going to put one foot out. If you're standing, probably step back a little, get yourself a little more room. You're going to lean forward, get a little stretch through the back of the leg. And then come up. And before you move on, either seated or standing, if you're seated, you're going to drop your knee towards the floor so that you feel a little stretch through here. If you're standing, you're just going to push that back hip forward. Again, just stretching out the front of the hip flexor. And release. And then going to the other side, same thing. Seated or standing, toe up, lean forward so you get a stretch through the back of the leg. If it's comfortable for you and you want to reach towards the toe, go for it. And then coming up, again, either pushing that front hip, that back hip to the front, or bringing that leg back, pointing the knee towards the floor so that you can stretch out that hip flexor. One more breath here. And release. And you are all done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you next week on Tuesday. We also have a Thursday class at the same time. Have a great day.